Hello, viewers. Today we have with us Miss Shivani Mehta. She, along with her friend Harnehmat Kaur, started this Daakroom. It's a venture that holds letter writing carnivals annually. And this year's letter writing carnival is slated for October 29. Welcome, Shivani.
Thank you. Happy to be on the show.
So, yeah, pleasure is all ours. So tell me, what is this Daakroom all about?
So, Daakroom, as the name suggests, Dak is post letters, Dakia, Dakghar. So, Darkroom is here to re-establish that letters are still relevant in today's digital age. Even amidst WhatsApp and Instagram and your instant chatting, letters still hold a lot of value, a lot of significance. The slow form of communication, the more meaningful and personal and intimate way of communicating your feelings and deeper thoughts. So that's where we started. That's the heart and soul of the company. And alongside that, we also promote a lot of creativity, art, doing things by hand, tangibility, being slow, taking things not too fast and not hurrying about things, part of the slow movement. So those are like the larger things that we work around.
Hmm. So when was this idea conceived and who's the brain behind it?
So this was
Daakroom.
actually 3 days from now. So on the 9th of October, 2013. So 10 years back, we started this as
Wow.
a as a postcard stall back. So Handwritten and I were studying at NID in Ahmedabad. And we that time we saw that people were not writing so much. The smartphones were coming in, and we were still getting letters from our moms, especially along with our tuck in college. So we wanted to share that and we wanted to encourage more people to write. So it just started as a postcard stall back in college. And we collaborated with our graphic design friends and put up a postcard stall. But the trick was that
Mhm.
we told people that if you buy postcards, it's going to be 30 rupees. But if you come back with a written postcard, you'll get 10 rupees and a free stamp to post it with. So most of the people
Okay.
actually came back with a written card. We didn't want them to just buy the card for the artwork and pin it on their boards. We wanted them to actually
Mhm.
write with it. So that
Mhm.
worked really well. And then we went on to putting a lot of stalls around other events and restaurants and places and slowly moved on to bigger
With
things.
the postcards.
Yes,
With the
we just
postcards.
started with, yes, with picture postcards and asking people to post them.
And designed by you guys.
Design, no. So we did some of them, very few of them, but we collaborated with a lot of other designers, and we started by this, collaborative promoting art through postcards and encouraging
Mhm.
people to write. That was the beginning. And
Mhm.
for a few years, that's what we used to do. We used to put up stalls, and people would come, and we'd ask them all, "Would you like to write a postcard?" It's really simple, you just pick a card, pick a
Mhm.
stamp, write it, and post it in the letterbox. So we made the
Mhm.
process really simple and accessible for them, and
Mhm.
just got people to write this short format. And then slowly over the years, we started working with schools, India Post, bigger events, bigger programs, curriculums. So all those things happened with time.
Mhm. So where all have you held this carnival like till now? Have you gone to
So
other
far,
cities?
yes, so we actually started in not in Delhi. So we started first in 2016 in Allahabad, then in 2017 in Chandigarh. So Allahabad and Chandigarh are Harnehmat and my hometowns. So we started
Okay.
over there, and then in 2019 we brought it to Delhi. And since then, now this is the fifth edition happening this year.
In Delhi.
Yeah, in Delhi this year, and we're also taking it back to Chandigarh and to Bangalore as a new city this year.
Okay. But do you plan to eventually take it to other cities as well across
Yes.
the nation?
Yes, yes. We're
Okay.
taking it slowly and steadily. We have a
Hmm.
go-to list of ours of lots of different cities that we'll slowly step into one or two at a time.
Okay. So when we compare Delhi and Chandigarh and Allahabad, which city has given the maximum response to you?
So, the most recently we did the carnival in Delhi. So, there are multiple reasons why Delhi was the grandest. One, it is a big region. We did the last two carnivals here. So there was a lot of growth also that happened personally as a company where we made things bigger, better. We did much more effort in terms of reaching out to the city at large. Our school network has expanded because we've been doing a lot of work with schools. So we invite a lot of schools. So Delhi has been the biggest carnival so far, but the reasons are very spread out for that. It's not because of the city per se, but we've had
Mhm.
very different
Mhm.
experiences in different cities. Like Allahabad is a very
Mhm.
small city. So that enthusiasm
Mhm.
of something new coming here, like Delhi has a lot of events happening, but Allahabad will have very
Mhm.
few city level events. So that different
Mhm.
spirit was over there. Chandigarh has a very different crowd. It has the Tri City. It has a different sort of a response. So we actually had it at a mall in Chandigarh, a very different venue. In the other cities, we've had
Mhm.
it at a cultural center. So we had very different experiences in all cities.
Mhm. Like you said, Shivani, that these are the days of short messaging services. People are even abbreviating the words which we used to use as full words. So, do you think that this sort of a thing, like letter writing in actual, which is more or less a bygone thing now, you'll be able to revive that with these sort of events?
Yes, yes, we're very confident of that, especially because of the kind of response we've been receiving. And
Mhm.
earlier letters were a necessity. You had to write letters
Mhm.
because there were no other media. So you used to write to everyone, even your formal communication, work communication, everything was via letters. Now you have the
Mhm.
luxury of picking it only for the closest and most important people in your life. And the
Mhm.
value of the letter has also become even more meaningful because everybody doesn't write them now. So when you get a
Mhm.
few of them, it's a big surprise. It's a very heartfelt thing because amidst all that digital clutter, you get one letter once in a while and it really stands out and you will safely keep it. You will really enjoy the experience. So somehow, because of the lack of it, the value has actually gone up. So people appreciate it even more now.
Hmm.
It's
So, do you
harder to
still
get
write
people to
letters
write. Yes. Yes, yes. Both of us do.
personally
Yeah,
to
we've
your like?
managed.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, we both of us do. We managed to get our husbands to write as well over time. And-
Okay.
but yeah, we do write. We write to each other also sometimes. We write to our
Hmm.
families, some friends. Yeah, every once in a while
Hmm.
we do write letters.
And they respond back in letter writing, or they just pick up the phone and call you up?
It's a mix. Some write back, some don't. Some take some time to
Hmm.
write back. Like after a few letters, they'll think, okay, now I should write one back.
Actually, okay. And you said that you associate with schools and all. So, tell us a
Yes.
little more about that.
So we have a lot of campaigns apart from the carnival also that we do. We do, for example, we do Mother's Day and Father's Day letter writing campaigns. That these
Mhm.
specifically we do along with JK Paper, where they come in and they talk about paper and sustainability, and we promote writing. So we have this Pan India campaign where we reach out to almost 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh children across India to write letters to their parents for Mother's Day and Father's Day. So that we do entirely through schools. So we're connected to a few thousand schools because of that. And we do a lot of other like school activities. We've worked with India Post extensively over the years in different cities in Bangalore, Odisha. We've done, for example, with the scheduled ST and SC development department and in government of Odisha. We've done a
Mhm.
tribal schools ke saath letter writing project some years back where children wrote inland letters to their parents. So we've done a lot of
Mhm.
these localized as well as pan-India campaigns over the years,
Mhm.
because of which
Mhm.
we've connected with several circles of India Post also with a lot of
Mhm.
schools, NGOs, sometimes even colleges.
Okay. So, how challenging is it to convince like the youngsters of today to write letters? Get down, write
it's
letters. They don't have
it's
a lot of uh, say time to write letters or the inclination to write letters.
That's true. But we managed to use a lot of different techniques for different age groups. So, for example, for let's say 30s, 40s, that age group, it's a lot of nostalgia. So we encourage them to think back and think about legacy and the older things, going retro. So those factors. For school children, we play on creativity. So we'll bring in origami, calligraphy, encryption. So writing coded letters for your friends, so like
Okay.
making a cipher that only your friend can understand. So bringing in these little creative elements to help them enjoy it more. Introducing them to stamps. We have workshops that are dedicated to just uh, telling them how beautiful stamps are and how you can decorate your envelopes with stamps, use stamps as a way of adding beauty. So for them, we have a lot of these hooks of tangibility and creativity as well, apart from giving them that opportunity of almost instant gratification, that okay, sometimes you don't post, you just hand deliver, so you will get that instant reaction. You give your letter to your parents by hiding it under their pillow or putting it in your tiffin box or in their bag or
Yes.
something like that, so they get to surprise them also.
Ah. So now that you're talking about the age groups, different age groups, first you talked about children and you talked about people in the 30s and 40s. So, what about the other age groups? One thing. And secondly, which age group is more enthusiastic about it?
So the rest of the age group, like this middle, young adults and college students, for them it's a lot of, that's where we used to, that's the crowd we used to work with right in the beginning, when we used to put our stalls, postcard writing stalls at places like Comic Con. So you have that exact like youngster wala age group. So there we would work with art and a simple short format of like fun writing to each other kind of a thing. We've had even at our carnival, like last year, there were these young girls who came. Then they wrote to their parents in that nostalgic sense. They wrote back ki patra milte hi 5,000 rupees bhejiyega. So like one of
Achha.
those old things, they actually just wrote it back to them. So most enthusiastic out of these is a little tough to say, because like something or the other appeals to everyone. So at the end of the day, I would say more that our target audience is more children. We want to work more with children because they completely do not know about letters. So that is the age we want to impact, like create an impact in. So that if they pick it up at that age, especially at this middle school age, when they are more open to ideas, more creative, not that busy with studies as our class 9, 10th senior students. So that's the age we want to work with the most, and with their parents, so that if that communication starts and if the parents also start encouraging their children, then it's a longer term impact.
Okay.
In fact, that's one of the things that the carnival also does, that it brings people of multiple generations together. So children, young adults, parents, grandparents. So after they come over there, we don't have to convince them to write anymore, because we create an atmosphere that encourages these conversations. So once they are in that space, parents start telling their children that मैं तुम्हारे चाचा को लिखा करता था, या मैं तुम्हारी मौसी को लिखा करती थी, तो तुम भी लिखो अपने भाई बहन को, या दादा दादी को लिखो, या उस those
Okay.
parents start doing that bit for us.
Mhm. Mhm. So at the carnival, you have different events, right?
Yes.
What
So
are they?
we have a lot of different zones in the carnival. For example, one is workshops. So we have different relevant workshops like calligraphy, origami, letter writing, of course, philately, post crossing. So we have a bunch of workshops in tents that are happening at a timed way. Then second is competitions. So people typically, when they come for a letter writing carnival, they automatically in their mind they think that there's going to be a letter writing competition. So, in addition to that, we give them things like best handwriting competition, quizzes happening, postcard making competition. So, just because children are very enthusiastic around competitions, we give that, and we also have those for elder ages also. So, some even above 18, best handwriting for even elders. Then we have activities, lots of activities. So you can come get your name written in calligraphy, or you can get your handwriting analyzed. What does your signature say about yourself? Do some art and craft activities, open art mural wall, and things like that. So there's that engagement and activity zone. Then we have a sports and games area because we want to promote more physical activities. So instead of your digital games, we give you like some foosball happening or a slow cycling race or lots of, let's say, games happening in one area. So that's
Mhm.
there. Then there's a food zone, there's a shopping zone,
Mhm.
and there's a the core is the writing and postal zone. So that's where India Post comes in, a letterbox, an actual postman, and all the most authentic elements that can come and tell you about the postal system.
Okay. So isn't that quite a handful for a day?
So that's not for people, for us, yes, but for people who come in, it's a whole day spent that they're there for. So people who come to the carnival, they actually spend hours over there because there's so much to do, and it's a Sunday, so we promote it like that. It's a family Sunday. You come spend the day there, or at least half a day, and you'll have enough things to do all the day around.
Okay. And you said that you collaborate with India Post. So, being a government organization, how challenging is it to, how challenging was it to get them on the,
They've been very
get them
supportive
to,
because at the end of the day, we're promoting their cause of bringing back letters. So that's been very nice. Thankfully, they have appreciated what we've been doing. We've been collaborating since 2015 in Bangalore at some local event, at Cubbon Park doing a letter writing thing, at Rahgiri in Delhi, we've done a postcard writing thing in the past. So over the years, slowly, slowly, they've also seen that we're genuinely trying to promote letter writing and bring back this art, especially among children. So thankfully, we've had their support in several spaces wherever we've done something.
okay.
And
And
I mean, it's what we're doing is we request them to bring their authentic elements to promote to the crowd. So bring an actual letterbox, bring a postman. It's a very collaborative, mutual kind of a situation to be in where we love for the actual postal elements to come in and they are nice enough to bring them.
okay. And you said that letter writing helps in mental well-being, emotional well-being, cognitive development. Talk about
Right,
it.
right. Yes, so there have been several studies over time that talk about how even simple things like comparing typing with writing, writing by
Mhm.
hand. So, how there have been studies that say that simply when, for example, when students take notes by typing versus when students take notes by writing by hand. So, even though the speed might be faster in typing, but they comprehend better and they question and analyze better when they're writing by hand, so that function between the way your hand works and your brain works when you're writing by hand is very different. So there have been studies that talk about mental well-being and journaling and writing by hand and how it affects your cognitive ability. For example, a simple example that we talk about is that when you're typing, you have the benefit of cut, copy, paste, and backspace and everything. So you know that whatever you write, you can always structure it later. But when you're writing by hand, you know that you will have to cut it out and scribble it out. So you structure things a little better in your head. You know that you have to break your paragraph. You can't do it later. You can't press enter later. You can't cut and change things. So the way you write is very different compared to the way you type because of the limitations itself. So that's there. Then it allows for a lot of creativity because you can cut, fold, you can use different languages. So those are like some other factors. You can switch to any language at any time.
So, was there some, say, research kind of a thing done by you before you actually like launched it after you came out of your college? College was one thing that is understood.
Yes, yes.
But after you seriously thought about it, was there some sort of research that went into it?
Yes, yes, at several points. So, one is secondary research. We studied these articles that talk about what the benefits of writing are. So, those are what we base our hypotheses on. That there are international organizations and institutes that have already spoken so many things about well-being through writing and benefits of writing. So that at least made our case stronger in our own heads also, and to suggest it to other people that these are proven things. The second is our primary research, where when we started working with the postal system, we actually shadowed a postman. So we spent one day with a postman, understanding what relationships are with a postman today. Then we went to their sorting centers. understood what beat sorting is, how the back end of the postal system works, what is a pin code. So we understood, as we're still learning. It's a huge system, the postal system, but we made special efforts to understand the postal system. That's one side of the research. Then the other side is that we worked with children a lot. So around 2016 is when we run a pen pal club back then between two schools in Delhi, where we would connect them with each other, and we used to make them do a lot of activities with other, like writing to their parents, writing encrypted letters, all these things that we now do on a regular basis. We did it very consciously early on to understand what the response of the students were, what they liked more, what kind of things they were writing. So then that's when we did the understanding and learning and research for working with students.
Okay. Okay. You just talked about pen pals. Are children still into pen pals?
Not really. They're not very aware of pen pal. I don't think there's any system right now that supports pen pals. So two things around it. One, there is a very nice portal, international portal called Post Crossing. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's a European-based website, but it works globally. So that network is pretty
Okay.
strong. It's not a pen pal
Okay.
system. It's an interesting system where you write postcards to a stranger, and then a different stranger
Mhm.
writes back to you. So you're not
Okay.
getting connected to anyone. It's a randomized postcard exchange system where you write
Okay.
on your profile that I want to learn about different weathers, different animals, or whatever you want to, or I want beautiful
Mhm.
stamps, or I want illustrated postcards. And then the other person
Mhm.
will read your profile and try and pick a postcard and send you a postcard. So that's a very
Mhm.
interesting system that is there, which is
Mhm.
not pen pals, but it's just like exchanging postcards globally. So that is one community that is still very active, and it's got a varied age group around the world. It's not just elders or
Mhm.
not just children, it's all the way across. It's also used as classroom modules in some countries where teachers sign up their whole class for exchanging postcards. So that's a lovely system which we encourage a lot through Darkroom. So at our carnival
Mhm.
also, we'll have a post crossing counter to encourage more people to join the website.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
try to bring together any sort of an initiative that's doing something around letter writing. So this is one, and this time we're also starting a pen pal counter at our carnival. So where people can voluntarily put their
Mhm.
name and details and pick up one out of the people who have voluntarily put their details and start a pen
Mhm.
pal exchange.
Okay. So it's been 10 years since you started. So how do you, when you look back, how do you see yourself, your growth? And also, do you think you've succeeded what you set out to do?
So it's been a lovely journey for sure. Just for some context, till last year, we were doing this as a hobby on the side, as a passion
Mhm.
project. So we started
Okay.
back in college. We kept doing these on the side. We kept doing these workshops or stalls or things, and we would always just ensure that it is done in a sustainable fashion. Keep we don't lose out on money and just like keep doing something on the side. Only last year we actually picked it up as a full-time thing now to treat it as a sustainable startup or a business or however we can call it. So so far it was a very comfortable and fun sort of a journey. We would keep doing things on the
Mhm.
side. Both Handheimat and I, we our lives independently also continued. We at some point we would be doing some internship, or we'd be doing a job, or Handheimat was doing her masters, and we both got married also in the middle. So
Mhm.
it was a very sort of a convenient setup that we were able to take up our passion also on the side, and
Mhm.
we were able to do other things. And now is the challenging part when we've actually taken this up full time. So now the challenge of actually making it even financially sustainable on a complete on
Mhm.
scale is
Mhm.
going on.
Now the passion is has turned into a business
Yeah,
module.
it's kind of exciting also if we can actually successfully over a good period of time, if we can build this into something sustainable as well as keep doing our passion.
Mhm.
Nothing like it.
Okay. Okay. And in Delhi, say, since you've been doing it in Delhi for the last 5 years, how do you how do you find that it is a success? Like, are there in your repeated carnivals, are there repeat people who are coming, or there
So,
are new people every time who are coming there? So are
so
there
I think
old?
the
Hmm,
So now very recently, we're now consciously trying to build a tribe, a community. Before this, it was kind of sporadic because there were too many gaps also. Like Carnival happened in 2019 in Delhi, and then it happened post-COVID because of the whole COVID break,
hmm,
2022. So it is very hard to say if people were repeats or not. We do know that more
hmm,
people came. So that is
hmm,
one measurable successful point. We were able to collaborate with more organizations, like Ministry of Culture was a
hmm,
partner last time. So
hmm,
those things are what we've been able to measure, or the fact that we have been able to execute more of our dream elements, like
hmm,
more meaningful things for people to do in the carnival. So that, but yes, there are more quantifiable, measurable impact,
hmm,
measures of success that we want to give to the carnival. So we are consciously building those now. Of course, number
hmm,
of people who come being one of them, but what do
hmm,
people take back? Do How many people write letters has been a way of calculating. So how many people
hmm,
write letters as a part of the build up of the carnival? How many write on the day of the carnival? So those things we try to keep making better. We
hmm.
do want to see how many. Sorry.
Tell, tell.
Yeah.
No, 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 go
Uh,
ahead.
we,
I know.
we do want to see how many people can take this up as a maybe a longer term thing. That's how we're introducing smaller elements like the pen pal counter. But we're also okay with the fact that people come here and just write for one day. They come, they think about
Okay.
writing, and then they write 4 5 times a year. Maybe that's it. We don't want them to write every day or every week.
Hmm,
But at
hmm,
least they come, they learn about the different techniques of writing, find reasons to write at the carnival, think about
hmm,
finding out addresses, even just writing sticky notes to each other. So we're trying to give them lots of different reasons and cues to start incorporating letter writing in their lives. Those more measurable ways of seeing the impact we're working on right now.
but there's no way to find out whether the person who has written at your carnival sticks to it, is
Yes,
influenced
so
so much that.
Yes, so that we don't currently have. That we are trying to
Mm,
do in our programs. So, for example,
mm,
we have, as part of our vision and mission, we have these different missions. One of them, for
mhm,
example, is to make letter writing as part of pop culture, to make it exciting and
mm,
contemporary, or to make it accessible and easy and convenient, and to make it as part of people's lives. So there are a lot of different mission statements, and these earlier ones are what we're trying to achieve with the carnival, that it becomes so exciting that people of all age groups want to pick it up, and to
mm,
make it very convenient that the letterbox is also here. You get to recognize the letterbox. You know how the speed post works and registered post works because India Post the counter is there. So that
mm,
know-how and convenience is what we try and bring in the carnival. The habituation, maybe not. That we are
mm,
trying to do through our school curriculum programs. So we involve more and more schools here, and then we do workshops also across India with schools. We are currently running a letter writing curriculum with 4 schools. So that those
okay.
are the kind of things where we are looking at more deeper impact. So yeah,
Mhm.
different mission statements of ours get covered in different kind of um, outputs and projects that we do.
Yeah. So now that you've turned it into a business module, how much of support do you get from your respective spouses? And are they serious about it, or do they think it's a trivial thing and it will die out, and it's like you do it for enjoyment and it can't be a business or
No,
something like that?
in fact, they have been the reasons why we ended up taking this up full time, because without their support, you
Okay.
can't go with such a decision. In both,
Yeah. Mm,
both spouses,
mm,
that support and decision making backing has to be there to,
mm,
do it smoothly. And so that push has
mm.
been there from both our spouses very much.
Okay, okay, okay. So where do you see yourself, say, a decade from now? Now you completed 10 years. 10 years in future, where do you see yourself?
Well, we would like the carnival to be in a lot of cities and to be something that people look forward to and that creates an impact in on an annual basis. We would want to be talking about the so the larger vision also incorporates talking about the values that letters stand for. So not just letter writing, but how letter writing inculcates self-expression, empathy, patience. So we want to be working on the slow movement, art, culture, promoting creativity. So those are the spaces that we may be getting into. It may be too early to say that we're still building our longer vision more concretely, but this is how we see it right now. That letters still remain the heart, but we want to, work on these positive values as well.
Okay, okay. And how about the preparations for the October 29 event?
Oh, very exciting. Everywhere, the whole team's on it. Everybody's all are talking to schools and inviting them online.
Mm.
You may notice that Instagram has suddenly started popping up with
Yeah,
activity. So
yeah,
yes, we're all
yeah.
on it. Harnehmat and I have been going out of our comfort zone to come on camera.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. That you have to do actually.
Yeah, so we are learning.
Mm. So, do you plan to see? It's an annual event. Do you plan to have more such events like through the year? Maybe twice a year or thrice a year?
So how we're looking at it right now is that we may, because events are typically a very winter thing, so we may
Mm.
focus on more events in the winter months, say from September, October to about Feb or so, and may focus more on school programs and campaigns that we do in the other months. So the events, we also do a lot of other events apart from our carnivals. So we are a part of other events, or we do smaller events, or even corporate events. Like very recently, we did some art and creative events at Adobe's office. We've done whole creative engagement zones for India Post and Ministry of Culture for their events. So we are sort of building this niche where we can creatively engage children and young adults. So that's another area that we've been consciously building as verticals of what all we do. And school programs, of course, are there. So we'll continue to
That's
build
your
on
main
these.
focus.
And yes, yes, that's a significant part of the focus because even at the carnival, we are encouraging students and their parents to come. So that audience is a major focus for us to create an impact.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much, Shivani, for talking to us. And
Thank you
I
so
wish you
much.
all the best for October 29 as well as all the rest of the events that you are planning and the future. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. We hope to see you there at the event.
Let's see. Yeah.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.